Hi, my name is Marianne, and this is John, my stroke survivor. He's fully cognizant, but he's hard to understand, so he's asked me to read what he wants to say. Hi, I'm John. I had my stroke almost 3 years ago in January 2012. This is the second time Josie has asked me to talk to her class, and I'm really glad to be here. My goal is to give you an understanding of what stroke and traumatic brain injury victims deal with every day, emotionally and physically, and I hope it helps you as you go through your education and careers. Before my stroke, we had an awesome life. I was a self-employed mobile detailer, a job I enjoyed very much. At home, I did all the cooking and took care of the house while Marianne worked at an attorney's office. In my free time, I remodeled our entire home, room by room, all by myself, including building wood decks in the front and back of our house. I'm especially proud of the sanctuary I created for Marianne in her bathroom. I enlarged it to 3 times its original size, built an attached walk-in closet, put in a corner jacuzzi tub, and decorated it to look like a peaceful forest, which is her favorite place. We both loved camping and went with our family a couple times every year. I used to play guitar on those camping trips and had begun to accumulate musical equipment in a music room at our house because I wanted to start playing professionally again. We often had our family over, and I had a lot of fun cooking for those get-togethers. I took Marianne on drives, and we both enjoyed going out to eat. At the time of my stroke, we had 9 cats and 3 birds who enriched our lives. In the blink of an eye, everything I was on the outside was taken away from me. From being a builder, musician, cook, auto detailer, and many other things, I became completely dependent on others to take care of my every need. Although I finally adjusted to what my life has become, I won't accept that this is it for me. I'm not going to give up. I want to keep working to get as much of my old self back as I can. Even so, it's very hard not to keep thinking back to what was and realize that it's gone. That life lives on every day in my memories. It's an easy thing to just stay home and do nothing and become a hermit. You don't have to face people or deal with your situation. But no matter what you do, time keeps ticking. So I've stayed involved with activities and people, and I've kept going. I still hope that with hard work, my quality of life will improve someday. The day of my stroke started like any ordinary day. I did my usual morning chores and even took one of our cats to the vet that morning. Marianne came home for lunch, and we spent that hour together like we did every day, and she went back to work at 1. Close to 2 o'clock, I became lightheaded and couldn't stand. I couldn't feel the left side of my face, and I knew I must be having a stroke. By some miracle, I called Marianne's cell and was able to tell her that I was having a stroke. She rushed home while her coworkers called 911. The ambulance was at the house in less than 15 minutes. I had had a rare hemorrhagic stroke, or brain bleed, in the pons of my brainstem. Marianne was told that it was inoperable, and there was nothing they could do, and to expect that I might die. However, it seems God has plans for me because I'm still here. After my stroke, I was in the hospital close to 2 months, including 5 weeks at the rehab hospital. Marianne left her job and became my full-time caregiver when I came home. And sadly, in less than 3 years since my stroke, 4 of our 9 cats have died, and of our 3 birds, we had to place 2, and the other died. To say the least, we've encountered a lot of sadness on top of learning to live with my condition. Our pets are our family. We have a very close family and are lucky to have their support, plus help from friends and extended family when we need them. We could not manage without all of them. We've met many new friends, and we're both still amazed at the love, support, and help that people give to us, even now after so much time has gone by. Since my stroke was in my brainstem, it affected both sides of my body in different ways. You notice the left side of my face has a droop, but I lost sensation in my right side. Luckily, I can still move my whole body, and I understand everything that's happening around me. I kept my intelligence, memory, and sense of humor, but the stroke affected my ability to speak, and no one can understand me. It's been very frustrating, disheartening, and depressing when people become awkward around me and treat me like I'm retarded or deaf because of how I look and talk. I'm still the same person inside. I keep up on current events, sports, television shows, and things happening in our community, and could talk to anyone about any of those things. It makes me feel so isolated, and I just want them to talk to me normally without being extra loud or dumbing it down as if I'm stupid. They just need to be patient, that's all. Over time, my ability to swallow decreased so much that I can't eat anymore. Everything goes through a feeding tube in my stomach. It's not easy to watch the food commercials on TV. I can only dream of eating again. In fact, I dream so much about food that I should weigh 500 pounds by now. A couple of months after the stroke, I started having double vision and lost some of my hearing, and I began having nerve pain. I also developed ataxia, which makes it impossible for me to even hold a TV remote. For the guys in the room, you know how devastating that is. I jest, but I bring it up to emphasize that even the seemingly smallest disability can have a hugely negative impact on a stroke victim's psyche. I hate that I can't drive anymore. It was something that I really enjoyed. Now whenever we go somewhere, Marianne does all the driving, and it's a whole production. We can't just hop in the car and go somewhere. I've had physical, occupational, and speech therapies at Enloe Outpatient Rehab, and all the therapists are great. They treat me with respect, and their attitudes about my recovery keep me hopeful. Every therapy session helps me, but I enjoy walking in my walker the most and working on my posture because it feels so good to be standing. Professional therapy is limited with insurance, so the Be Well and communications disorders programs have been the best thing to keep me going. Besides helping me, being in the programs gives me a sense of purpose because I know I'm helping the students learn. I have a Rifton Pacer walker that supports my torso so I can walk along with Marianne. A regular walker needs a person on each side and one to walk behind with the wheelchair because my balance is poor. However, my pain level has made walking for more than a few minutes impossible. To explain a little about the pain, about 3 months after the stroke, I started having a burning sensation on my right side, which got worse over time. I've had to tolerate a constant level 9 to 10 nerve pain, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the last 2.5 years. We've tried many things to get rid of the pain. Narcotics don't work, and an epidural injection didn't work. I had a pain pump implanted in January 2013 to continuously administer baclofen to relax my muscles. While it lessened the pain and I was able to move better, it shut down my digestive system, and I ended up getting aspiration pneumonia 3 times in 1 month. I was in the hospital 7 more weeks after a surgery where I should have been home in 10 days. So no more baclofen. In summer 2013, we tried a new drug called Prialt in the pain pump, but I had too many side effects, so that was stopped too. I still have the pain pump, but it just has saline in it. We tried Reiki healing, which relaxed me, but it didn't lessen the pain. While it makes sense that acupuncture would work with nerve pain, it didn't help either. We've tried topical ointments, which were completely ineffective. We've tried several oral medications, but they also gave me side effects and didn't do anything to get rid of the pain. Neurontin has been the only thing that brings it down a little bit, but I'm on the highest recommended dose. Next, we're looking at getting a spinal cord stimulator implant in my neck. If it works, it will modify the pain messages before they reach my brain. A year ago, I had surgery on the left side of my face to partially close my left eye because it can't close on its own. That's why I wear a patch, to keep the air from rushing into that eye, plus I have double vision. The surgery also brought up the left side of my face and lip, which had a severe droop. The intent was to help with the pocketing of food and saliva in my left cheek. I also received injections into my vocal cords to plump them up because they had become atrophied from not being able to swallow properly. Unfortunately, even with that and speech therapy, my swallowing ability didn't improve. A year ago, I received a Dynavox, which is an augmentative and alternative communication device, or AAC for short, which I have here today. It's very useful, but whenever I use it, the person I'm talking to has to also be very patient because it takes me a while to type my response. Plus going to Be Well and speech, I enjoy going to church. The messages help me keep going and keep faith that God does have a plan for me. Marianne and I take Tai Chi classes at Azad's Martial Arts Center, which is great for me because it teaches me proper breathing, helps my coordination, and makes me use both sides of my brain. I'm so happy to be in the Be Well program here. I'm getting stronger and more confident in my abilities, and it's been a pleasure to work with high-energy students that are excited to work with me too. And being in the Communications Disorders program has been so great. I enjoy working with the clinicians, and Marianne and I are learning some sign language for those situations where a whisper is called for, because I have trouble moderating my voice. I'm working on speaking very slowly so people might be able to understand me a little better. My stroke left me very disabled. I'm very lucky to be able to stay in my own home and have someone like Marianne to care for me. I sometimes have a hard time watching how hard she works, and I know she hates to see me in this condition. But we love each other, and we're a team, so we make it work. And I tell her often that I appreciate everything she does for me. Because I'm hard to understand, Marianne's been my advocate everywhere we go. She asks questions and speaks up if something doesn't seem right. We've learned that nurses and doctors are overworked and often short-staffed and can make mistakes. Even so, everyone has always been happy to get Marianne's input and answer her questions about my care. My recovery has been slow to almost nothing, and every day is hard. I do my best to make Marianne laugh as often as I can, just like before the stroke. The quality of my life is poor in many ways, but we still try to celebrate everything that we can, like a great day at Be Well, or a speech, or a really good Tai Chi class, or a TV program that we really like. We're going to keep going and keep hoping because we choose to. We won't give up. We're told that recovery from a stroke never stops. Even the smallest improvement means there's still recovery happening. Only God knows why we are on this difficult path. And I always say, if it were easy, anybody could do it. And there was a time when I did want the good Lord to take me. Until recently, I realized I am serving a purpose. I'm helping students learn. And I'm helping other stroke survivors by talking about my experiences. In that way, I'm an advocate for them. Together, Marianne and I will work hard to get me where I can contribute in a meaningful way. Someday, I want to return the favor of so many that have helped me and make a difference in someone else's life. Thanks for listening.